Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Heisman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chansey.
Hi, Joe. Can you detail what Yordan Alvarez was able to do today and what his status is for the wild card series?
Yeah, so he's about to go and start hitting right now in the cage. And we also want him to go outside and run. So once I get to see those things, I'll give you a little bit more here, probably post-workout.
We'll come over here on the right to Christy. Sorry.
What's it going to be like facing AJ in a series that means so much? I know you faced him before, but you have a long history with him. So what do you think that's going to be like?
You know what? Actually, I'm looking forward to it. He's a good friend. We have spent a lot of time together. I learned a ton from AJ. But I think this series is about the Astros against the Tigers. So, they're playing really well, really good baseball. So I'm just looking forward to a really good series.
We'll stay on the right. Adam?
Joe, you haven't seen the Tigers since the middle of June. Just what stands out about, what's different about them and what makes them such a tough out right now?
Yeah, if you really watch their game, they have matured a lot as a club. They're swinging the bats really well. Making fewer mistakes that you probably saw in a younger club early in the season. And they're playing with a lot of energy, and they're playing good baseball. So there is that emotional aspect of a team when they start believing in themselves. That's kind of what you see of this Tigers team. I'm expecting a pretty good series here, and we'll be ready for it.
We'll stay on the right with Brian.
Joe, what do you think, looking back to last year, that Framber struggled in the playoffs like he did, and how do you think he's better positioned this year to pitch like he did a couple of years ago when he led you guys in the World Series?
Well, one thing that he has left out in the past, and that's in the past, and I expect Framber to go out there and perform the way Framber has performed this whole entire second half. He's one of the best pitchers in the league, and he wants the ball, and I expect him to go out there tomorrow and give us a great start.
We'll go in the front right here on the left.
Hey, Joe, first of all, do you expect Justin to be on the wild card roster? And then also, we talk so much about experience this time of year. How much does it matter, and why does it matter if it does matter?
It does matter. It matters a lot. Postseason baseball, the energy, the stage, it matters. When it comes to our roster, we're still having conversations, so we'll have the roster set by tomorrow morning.
I'll go back left to Matt.
Hi, Joe. Have you set your rotation for the series beyond Framber tomorrow?
We're having conversations about who's going to start game 2, so not yet.
And how is Chas McCormick?
He's doing really well. I expect him to be ready to go for the wild card series.
We'll stay on the back left with Chandler.
Joe, obviously you'll see Scooble tomorrow, but after that, they've worked with an opener. They do a lot of mid-inning pitching changes. They mix and match. How difficult is that for an offense to adjust when you're basically facing a bullpen game and a lot of different looks from that bullpen?
So we're going to prepare ourselves for what that game 2 might look like. I do feel very confident of any of our guys that will start the game or will be in a position to navigate whoever they decide to start and whoever they decide to come bring in second. I'm expecting him to, I expect AJ to do something like the way he's been doing it here the last couple of weeks. And our bench should be ready to go anytime. I can use those guys any moment. So it's a conversation that we'll have as a team when we get ready here for this series. At any minute, I can use our bullpen. I could use our bench to be able to, whatever he has in store for us.
We'll go on the right in the middle.
Joe, when we talk about Framber, we talk a lot about the mental side of his game and how he's evolved in that aspect. But from a more technical aspect, how do you think that he's evolved from 2020 to now?
Man, huge. I've been here since the first day he got to the big leagues. Maturity, he knows his role. I think he knows that there's also a lot of, guys in there that look up to him. So be more of a role model that's a leader on the mound. And he's done that. I think he's also knows what to expect when he has the ball in big game, how he's the ability to set the tone, and the way he goes about it has a lot to do with our performance for the next game. If he can take us deep in the game, he takes pride on that. So I seen these young kids that got up here to the big leagues a long time ago, really mature both personally and on the mound.
Okay, we'll go in the front here. Francisco.
Hey, Skip. I'll ask in English so my colleagues understand me, but I'd appreciate if you could answer me in Spanish, if you don't mind, please. Yes, I mean, this is your first season, and you as a manager of the big leagues, and by definition, it's your first postseason as a manager in the postseason. In a personal matter, what does that mean to you as an accomplishment in your personal career and a professional career, and how do you manage the nervousness? Because at the end of the day, this is your first time as a manager of a postseason in the major leagues.
Well, tomorrow's going to be an emotional day for everyone, and you asked me personally for my personal, as a manager, first-year manager, postseason, and it will be. But for me, it's more about, faith in God, faith in my group players. I will lean on the players. I'll lean on the coaches, just the same way I've done all season. And, this team is going to be ready to play. I'm going to be ready to do my job. And this is a team that when postseason comes around, they know what it takes to win. So that helps me sleep at night.
Thanks, Joe. We'll come back to Christy in the front.
I know you guys have much bigger aspirations than simply getting to the playoffs, but have you taken a moment over these past few days to kind of, reflect on how far you guys have come and what you had to overcome to even get to this point this year?
Yes, I've done it. There's been some memorable moments throughout the season that I look back and think how special this season has been. It's been challenging, but also I'm incredibly proud of this group because we were presented with some huge challenges in the beginning, but it speaks to the resiliency and the toughness of this team. So yes, I've sat around in the office or sat around with the family and talk about the Bregman home runs against the Dodgers, the Ronel Blanco no hitter, Framber Valdez performance, even young kids coming up to the big leagues and getting some big outs, big ABs. So I do think about those moments, but it kind of ends there because the job is still not done. Expectations here are high, and we got the team and we got the experience to meet those expectations. So I'm excited to see what the future brings.
Hey, Joe. And sort of just guiding your team out of the hole that you guys were in earlier this year, as sort of you reflect on the journey from that, what did you learn about yourself and just sort of what's required in the role that you're in, and what kind of surprised you about just how to handle all that?
So many things that, but I'm going to just kind of touch on a few things that I think that really helped me stay grounded and be able to navigate the challenges. And number one is our team, and you guys hear me say that all the time. And this is a special group of players, and I've been coaching the big league for 15 years, and I have never been around a group of players who believes in themselves. They lean on one another. There is no panic. There is this level of confidence on how they do things. The coaching staff, they have ways to get our players to continue to move forward and find ways to adjust. So we have a culture that when I walk in the office, I see everyone doing their part. And I'm like, you know what? We're in a really good spot. Regardless of where we at and how we playing, if we continue to do things right, how we prepare our players, this is going to turn around. So seeing those things on a daily basis, it helped me, right? And for me personally, I never, a 162 is a long season, but when you're managing and you see how we have overcome so many things, that journey of 162, you have to play all 162. You have to. Because we've shown that 55, 60 games, ugly as it looks, there's still 100 games to go. And those players, they just know how to run this marathon. They know how to sprint towards the finish line. They know what it takes along that journey to pick each other up and, hey, let's go. And that's what this team done. And, credit to our player development. We couldn't do this with just 26 guys or the 28 guys that we have on our roster, right? It takes a lot of kids from the minor leagues to come up here, a front office, an owner that could, hey, let's go get Kikuchi. We're going to give up away these pieces, but this is what we're going to acquire. And he comes here and he helps us. So there's a lot of collaboration that goes into this. And when I look and everything, our foundation is as strong as it is, I feel pretty good of our team. And I learned as being the manager to trust that process. And we find ourselves here in another postseason.
We got two in the front here.
Joe, I think AJ said recently he feels like he's been managing Game 7 for 2 months. Given the start, can you kind of relate to that? And how perhaps does that give your team, I don't know, a preparedness edge? You've done it so many times, but a little bit different look with the urgency that it took to climb the mountain to get here.
Obviously we faced some injuries early in the season to our rotation, and we were forced to, do things a little bit different, things out of, that we haven't done in the past. So that aspect allowed some of our young players to step up, and now they're going to find themselves pitching in the postseason, pitching meaningful games in the postseason. So that speaks about, how deep we are and how we have been able to overcome challenges just because of how challenging this season has been. AJ has been, just to your point about AJ feels like he's been, managing Game 7 of the World Series for the last couple of weeks. We've seen how his team has kind of picked it up since mid-August, right? And I know they're going to come in here, playing that type of, aggressive baseball that they played for the last couple of weeks, and we'll be ready for that. So I can only speak for how we are going to be prepared for a series playing against a team that's pretty inspired right now.
We've got one more in the front here.
Joe, you briefly mentioned your faith and what it meant to you to get through this season, for lack of a better term, between whether it be the slow start and the struggles, or you being a new manager. If you saw any criticism from fans, where did your faith play a role in you managing this season, just personally?
Huge, man, huge. It's my faith, right, allows me to trust God above all things. So the criticisms, hey, I know what I signed for, okay? The criticisms are going to be there. Fans they have the right to do that. This is a really, really good team, and our expectations are to win. So that's fine. So my faith allows me to block away a lot of noises and focus on my job, which is, lead this team, be a good father, good husband. Those are the things that allows me to, keep moving forward every single day, and allows me to overcome a lot of challenges at the ballpark. So I'll lean on him, and, he's been good to me my whole entire life. So there's a reason why I'm sitting here talking to you guys, is because of my faith.